spoke earlier, I want to thank them for sharing their stories. The truth of the matter is, folks, every time anyone has been victimized has to stand up in front of an audience and speak of it. It's tough. It brings back everything. They look out at you and they wonder, do they really understand what I've been through? Am I embarrassing myself? What am I doing? And the truth of it is that what you do when you speak up is you're giving an awful lot of other people in the shadows a reason to come out of the shadows and stand up. And I'll bet you there's some of you in this audience who are victimized and never said a word. Never said a word because you didn't want to be victimized again. And so, I say to Kimberly and Colin, your action makes a difference. And the students of Morehouse, Melville, Clark, and Morris Brown, I want to thank you all for being here. Look, folks, yesterday I was at the Naval Academy. Earlier today I was in Clemson, South Carolina, and I'm heading from here to Syracuse University for a simple reason. When historians look back to determine what kind of nation we were, how we treated the most defenseless among us is going to go a long way to measuring what kind of society we actually were. Within that will be the question of how, as a society, we dealt with sexual violence against women and men, I might add. That's what I want to talk to you about today, in particular, sexual violence on college campuses. This is one area where we have not made nearly as much progress as I hoped when I drafted the Violence Against Women Act way back in 1994. Let me make something clear. Sexual violence on college campuses makes no distinction based on geography, race, size, academic standing. It is everywhere. And although there are changes that have to be made on colleges' campuses on how to deal with sexual assault, accountability, and hope for those who assaulted is ultimately going to be cured only by one thing. We've got to change the culture of violence. My father, who was a gentleman, had an expression. He said, the greatest sin that can be committed is the abuse of power, whether it's economic power, mental power, physical power. And he said the cardinal sin of all those sins was when a man raises his hand to a child or a woman or anyone physically weaker. You know, sexual assault is at its root bottom. It's not about sex, it's about power. It's about the abuse of power. And that's why I wrote the Violence Against Women Act 21 years ago.